One of the most important things to consider when you travel to Istanbul is, of course, purchasing the famous Istanbulkart, which is a card that is useful to use the public transportation. But let me tell you something, the Istanbulkart rules have changed in 2023. So if you want to know the new rules, how to purchase it, and the two types of cards that are available for tourists, then stay and watch this video till the end. So the first card that is available for tourists in order to use the public transportation is the Istanbul City card. And for this one, we're going to be explaining to you as well the advantages and disadvantages. With this card, you can use every sort of public transportation in the city. And this one also includes the buses, metro, tram lines, ferries, funiculars, and cable cars, and also the Marmaray. It can also be used in public toilets, like for example the ones that you can find in Sultanahmet. And it's ideal for those who are going to be visiting Istanbul just for a few days but are going to use the public transportation quite often. But probably the most important advantage of this specific Istanbul card is that you don't have to be checking how much balance or credits do you still have in your Istanbul card, because let's remember that this one you can use it for unlimited time, and this one will depend on the time that you bought it, either for 1, 3, 5, 7, or 15 days. Now let's go explain about the disadvantages. And with this one, the first one will be that this card can only be used for one person only. So it's not like the other one that you can use it for several people. And the last disadvantage that I found is that this one you cannot top it up. That means that, for example, if you bought it for only 3 days, as soon as you finish your 3 days, that card will be invalid. So you cannot top it up. For this, you will have to buy another one. So if you want to buy the Istanbul City card, you need to look specifically for these machines, and there is only one in Sultanahmet. It is just next to the tram station. So the first thing that you have to do is you need to choose the Buy Istanbul City card. So we're gonna choose it from here. Just be patient with this machine because it's a bit tricky. Sometimes it's not working, but you just need to keep pushing.
İşleminiz yapılıyor. Lütfen bekleyiniz.
A few moments later.
So now that finally you have this screen, now you can finally choose the type of card that you want. This is for 1 day, 3 day, 5 days, 7 day, and 15 days. So these are like the prices. Just for the video, I'm gonna choose the 210, which is for 1 day.
3 hours later.
This is the procedure, like you need to click, but to be honest, the machine is not even working. So either you have to be so patient and try it, but in our case we have been trying 2-3 times, and it's the moment that we cannot even process our city card. But in general, this is like the process. It is very simple, it is very easy. You're gonna just click Buy Istanbul City card, and then when the screen changes, you're gonna choose for how many days you're gonna have it. You want it, and then you're going to pay with your credit card or debit card. You can do it from here, or you can put it from here. And before we continue with our video, we would love to thank Surfshark for sponsoring this video. In case that you don't know what Surfshark is, let me tell you that this is an amazing VPN that will allow you to connect to censored websites at your current location. By connecting to a server in a different country, and establishes a protected and private connection. Also, if you need to use the public Wi-Fi, you can do it without worrying because your private information will be fully protected. And in case that you need to do some important transactions from your home country, you can also do it by just exchanging your current location. What will you get? Unlimited devices all in one account. and a 3-day money-back guarantee, that means that there's absolutely no risk for you to try it out. All you have to do is click in the link, share it in the description box and pin comment, and enter my promo code Bery Istanbul Tips for an exclusive deal and get 3 additional months for free. And this is the other type of Istanbul card that you can purchase as a tourist. With this card, you can pay all sorts of public transportation in the city, and that includes the tram, ferries, buses, cable cars, funiculars, even the Marmaray, which is the special train that crosses you from continent to continent and goes under the Bosphorus as well. But just one important thing that you have to keep in mind is that this rule already changed. And if you're using the Marmaray and if you're just going from certain amount of stations, then you cannot get the refund anymore as before. So that only applies only for Turkish citizens and for us living here in Istanbul with a registered and personalized Istanbulkart. But when it comes to tourists, now you cannot get the refund back. It can also be to pay the public toilets, and for example, if you're in Sultanahmet, you can immediately recognize them because they look something like this. And another benefit that you can get when you buy this specific Istanbul card is that one single plastic or card can be used for up to 5 people. Now I'm going to explain you about the cons or disadvantages of getting this card. And one of the disadvantages and a new rule that is applied to this type of Istanbul card is that per month it can only be topped up with 500 Turkish liras. So as soon as you finish that amount, even though if it's in 1 week or 2 weeks, that card will automatically become invalid and then you need to buy a new one. And once again, do the same procedure. Another thing to consider is that, for example, when you're in the yellow vendor machines trying to top it up or to put credits into your card, is that you can only do it maximum 300 Turkish liras per transaction. So for example, if you want the 500 all at once, you have to put only 300 maximum. And then some other day you can top it up with the 200 Turkish liras left over that you have for that month. And the last disadvantage of this specific Istanbul card is that you need to be checking the balance, or that means how much money do you still have in your Istanbul card before using any public transportation. And for that, it is also quite easy. All you have to do is just find a yellow vendor machine, put your card, and you don't have to press any button. You just wait for the machine to show you your current balance. At the moment in Istanbul, for the public transportation, usually is the same price, and that includes also buses, metro, trams, some ferry lines, funiculars, and cable cars. For this, you're going to be paying per person only one ride, 10 Turkish liras. So with this price, you can already calculate if 500 liras for this card will be enough for you or for 2 or 3 people. So getting the Istanbul card will be very easy. You just have to look for any yellow vendor machine that you can find in any of the tram stations, metro stations, ferry ports, and many others. At the moment we're in Sultanahmet, and you will find these machines just next to the tram line. So what you have to do is you have to pay with a banknote. These machines will not accept any debit or credit card, so you have to pay everything in cash. At the moment right now, the Istanbul card is 50 Turkish liras. So the first thing you have to do is you have to click on this button where it says Istanbul card 50 Turkish liras. Is the one to the third button. You're gonna press here and then devam, which is continue. You're gonna click this last one.
Istanbulkart satın alabilirsiniz.
And then you're going to put the banknote here. The machine will pull it. You have to approve it, onay, which is the first
Kartınızı
button.
aşağıdan alabilirsiniz.
İşleminiz yapılıyor. Lütfen sadece kağıt para girişi yapınız.
And then the card already, it's here. So we already have the Istanbul card here, and this is the anonymous Istanbul card. This is for tourists. So this is one of the type that you can find. One thing that happened to us when we were trying to buy the card from the vendor machines in Sultanahmet is that two different people approached us to sell us these cards. What we realized is that they were selling them for 50 Turkish liras, which is the same price that you can get them from the machine. To be honest, we are not sure if it's a scam or if they are legit and they are just trying to help people. But in case that you just want to avoid some strange situations, I will suggest you to once again do everything directly from the vendor machines. Now, let's remember that as soon as you buy the plastic, only the card, you're only paying 50 liras just for the plastic. It doesn't have any credit inside. So for that, we have to top it up. And it is very easy as well. You can do it in any yellow vendor machine. The first thing that you have to do is just place your Istanbul card
İşleminiz
here.
yapılıyor. Lütfen sadece kağıt para girişi yapınız.
And then you're going to just put one more time the banknote.
Kartınızı alanda işleminiz yapılıyor. Lütfen bekleyiniz. Kart yüklemeniz gerçekleşti.
And something very important that you have to pay attention to. Do not remove the card as soon as you put the banknote. Why? Because if you do it, it will not top up. So as soon as the voice recording finishes, then you can take your card away. And another thing is that whatever you put, if you put 50 liras, 100 liras, it will not give you any change. So the amount of money you put into the machine, that will be the amount of money that will be top up into this card. So now as a conclusion, let's compare which card is better than the other one. First of all, let me tell you that we couldn't even purchase the Istanbul city card. So that one, it's kind of difficult, like the machine. We tried like 5-6 times. And another disadvantage about this is that in the whole area of Sultanahmet, there is only one machine. So if you cannot buy it from that machine, then you will not be able to find it somewhere else. Maybe you can find it at the airport, because also there are plenty of machines. Maybe you can find it there. But at least when it comes to Sultanahmet area, you will not find it. There is only one machine. Another disadvantage that I see with the Istanbul city card versus the Istanbul card is that for the Istanbul city card, for example, if you're visiting, let's say Istanbul for 5 days, you are going to have to pay 800 Turkish liras. But also let's think that each ride for public transportation is 10 Turkish liras per person. So that means that maybe daily you might have to use it 16 times in order to use fully like that amount, the 800 Turkish liras that you are paying for 5 days. But to be honest, 16 times a day, you're not going to use the public transportation, especially if you're only in the main touristy areas. That is why, in my opinion, I still believe that the Istanbul card, the anonymous one, the red one, is still better than the Istanbul city card, because that one, you can use it for more than one person, up to 5 people in total, and you can still use it for many days, even if you're only staying in Istanbul for 2 or 3 days. And even if it's for one person, you can really save a lot of money there. And even if you're using it for, let's say, up to 5 people and you finish right away the 500 Turkish liras, you can always buy the second card and top it up with another 500 Turkish liras, and you will have the benefit that 4 or 5 people are using it, and for less money, of course. So I still see more beneficial using the normal Istanbul cards. And lastly, I also want to share with you, because this is a very common question that I still receive on my YouTube videos about the Istanbul card. If once you purchase it, you have to register it and fill a form and all of that things. No, you don't have to do it anymore. That situation, it was only during COVID times, and that is, thankfully, that is well gone. So you don't have to do any of that. You just purchase it and you can use it right away. Hopefully this video was helpful for you, because we know that nowadays on internet, even on YouTube, there are no videos or information about these new rules about the Istanbul card and the 2 types that tourists can purchase. Even it was a bit difficult for us finding all of this information, but we managed it, we made it, because also we know that in my other videos, some of my followers have also asked me about this new procedure, because it's been a little bit complicated nowadays. So that is why I thought that this video could be very useful for you. So if you like the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.